Mm. Welcome, everyone, to the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Allie Hutchinson. I'm a staff minister at OCSL. My pronouns are she and they, and I'll be your host tonight for our midweek Oasis service. Oasis is a place where we come together as a community to be spiritually refreshed midweek. Most Wednesday night services follow up on the theme from the previous Sunday, and we share in a satsang style science of mind principles and practices with the intention that the entire gathering be informal, intimate, and interactive. So our annual CSL theme for 2024 is a grand rising, and our monthly theme for September is pieces into peace. Last Sunday, Reverend Sunshine Michelle introduced ideas inspired by this week's theme, Rising from Pieces into Peace. And tonight, our speaker will continue with that theme. For newcomers, if you're new to our community or watching our recording and you're new, please visit our website at osl.org. Click on the I'm New icon and look at the lower left-hand corner of that page. You can submit your email address there, and then you'll begin receiving our newsletter, The Village News, once a week. It has all sorts of information about what's going on in our center in the coming weeks. Before we get started, please mute your microphone. When you mute, it will improve the quality of our recording and our transmission, and you can leave your camera on if you like. And please stay tuned through the end of the service to hear some important announcements. Our speaker tonight is Maureen French. Maureen is a licensed practitioner at OCSL and has served on OCSL's Board of Trustees, including serving one term as board president. She has a master's degree in mental health counseling and a bachelor's degree in women's studies. Since 2013, Maureen has worked for the United States Attorney's Office in Northern California as a victim witness supervisor and has also served as its diversity and inclusion program manager. In her position as victim witness supervisor, she upholds the rights of victims of crime and provides services to victims of crime who are participating in the criminal justice system. She has extensive experience in advocacy, crisis counseling, and providing trainings in trauma-informed services and diversity education. So thank you in advance, Maureen, for being our speaker tonight. And as we do at the center, we will open with prayer. Maureen, will you be doing the honors this evening?
No, I've asked Alice Knudsen to do the honors.
All right. Alice is a licensed religious science practitioner here at OCSL, and she's also the director of our Ministry of Prayer. So I will turn this over to Alice now.
Hello, everyone. Let us go within. Just breathing in and breathing out, going inside to that still place within. For there is only one consciousness, one awareness, one brilliant life. We are all one with that one source, that divine source of love and light. And how good it is to know this. As we come together tonight, I bless this time together, knowing that we are all one with that one, and we were bathed in the divine light and love of Spirit tonight. And so I bless our time together, knowing we are guided by this divine source, that everything is going just exactly as it need go. We are led by love, we are guided by Spirit, we are here to support one another and grow in our spiritual lives together and share this time. And it is a blessing beyond blessings. And so I know that everything is going in divine right timing. And this time together is a gift. It is precious. And I bless our speaker, Maureen, knowing that she will delight us with her talk tonight, knowing who she is. She is filled with light and love, and she is here to deliver what her imagination, what her vision is of peace and pieces into peace. So I turn this prayer over to Spirit, knowing that we are here in the vibration of love. And please join me in saying, and so it is. Blessed be.
So it is. Thank you, Alice. Beautiful. So I will turn this over to Maureen now.
Thank you, Alice. Thank you, Reverend Allie. So I'm Maureen French. My pronouns are she, they, and I am delighted to be here to talk about pieces into peace. So, of course, peace, P-E-A-C, resonates with all of us in terms of we say peace with the symbol peace. That's a way that we talk to folks. We say peace on earth around the holiday times. So there is this idea of peace throughout our history. And what I would like to talk about is how to navigate life's highs and lows and cultivate a sense of peace amidst the turbulence. Right now, the world seems to be at a pivotal point with politics, the economy, violence, social injustices, and the list goes on. For centuries, each generation has stated that in their time, it was the most scary time, the most uncertain time. Their experience of changes, war, and hate were the worst, and the signs that the world had gone over to evil. As we have seen, this is the existence of life, and if we are to learn from history, let us know that this life will have inevitable ups and downs that can often feel like a roller coaster ride. And now is the time that we can make a change for the downs to be less catastrophic and more in alignment with the natural order of things. In the science of mind philosophy, we understand peace as a God quality. The eternal presence is always at peace because there is nothing to disturb it. I imagine the story of creation as I contemplate ultimate peace. So if you would use your imaginations with me and go with me for a moment on this little meditation. Go ahead and take a deep breath. Close your eyes, feeling the groundedness. And as we go within, imagine for a moment the stillness just before the divine intelligence spoke the words, "Let there be light." Just before the word, just before that creative action, imagine the silence, the hush, the calm, the contentment of just being. Allow yourself to sink into that infinite power and imagine the atmosphere of ultimate peace just before the creative intelligence created its creation. The ultimate quiet as the one power takes the conscious, expressive action to bring forth the light and form and all the other specific pieces into being. Allow yourself to imagine that feeling of grounded peace. Now, slowly bring yourself back to this very moment, taking this feeling of ultimate peace with us as we continue to unwrap the concept of pieces to peace. We teach from the principle of the one mind, the one power, which points to the idea that ultimately there is no separation from anything, that even the spaces in between are part of the whole creation. However, we know from just looking around us that we are separate pieces. I can see you and you can see me. We are individually thinking beings. More so, we often refer to people in our community as unique expressions of God. We talk about how unique each one of us is and celebrate the differences. We point out that there is no snowflake alike, that each human being has their own identifying fingerprints. We can do this exercise for all of God's creations. Sea creatures, insects, birds, dinosaurs. The list goes on. These creations are all beautiful, unique miracles in their own right. Now, let us look at the conscious beings, human beings, and all the pieces we see out in the world directly relating to our human existence. These can be beautiful and also scary. Some of the human constructs that interrupt our peace are playing out in socioeconomic status discrepancies, gender and racial privileges, social injustices, global warming, and horrific criminal acts. These too are pieces to peace. For our collective consciousness has created them in our human reality. How do we reconcile that in our minds? Doesn't seeing multiple pieces of good fly in the face of the idea that we are one? Doesn't seeing multiple horrific pieces show that we are doomed for destruction? This is where the work begins, my friends. Our philosophy calls us to lean into the God quality of peace, no matter the appearances. Thus, taking the pieces and doing the work to align with ultimate peace, no matter what we are seeing or feeling, for we have the faith and belief that there is an ultimate peace that passes all understanding. For we know that we are all made of the same substance. It is unseen, but we know it is there, for it is what created us. We can achieve peace by being peace in our own minds. We must all align with this ultimate peace. This divine intelligence, this oneness that was there before the piece became pieces, that is ours to do. It is your work and it is mine to do, to align with that ultimate peace. It is about turning to the one mind that knows peace. When it seems like life is happening to you, or that the world is falling apart, that there is too much war, that there's too much hate, that is the time to turn to it and to hold on tightly to the belief that there is this one mind. I believe it was Ernest Holmes who talks about all we need is 51% of goodness, of the conviction to tip the scales to the demonstration of whatever it is we want to bring into reality. Living in not peace is living a life unconsciously, leaving us to feel separate from the whole. I see this as our charge to turn back to the presence of the infinite, to turn back to the beginning, to remember this even in the most treacherous of times. We must turn to peace. We are being called to be the revealers of the peace in the storm. I keep coming back to the idea that there isn't peace out there. It's within. There is a saying, you can't change anyone. The only thing you can change is yourself. I have had to grapple with that. I want the easy fix, the magic pill, the 3 steps to peace on earth. Nope, it's an inside job. It is the individual work of each and every one of us to find our own internal peace and to remember that during these tumultuous times, that is the time to move and face the peace. From pieces to peace is a call to action. This is the social movement that needs to be at the forefront of all conscious beings right now. We must do our part as we have been given the divine gift of consciousness, the power to affect the law and create peace. We must each take responsibility for creating peace in our own inner world. The peace in our inner world can be how we think about what's going on in the world. Are we thinking about the whole world's going to hell in the handbasket? Are we talking to ourselves negatively? Are we creating this dysfunction in our minds? Ernest Holmes gives a simple yet effective way to cultivate inner peace, as shared in his book, This Thing Called You. It's an affirmative. It goes like this. I am surrounded by peace. I am immersed in peace. There is nothing but peace. Peace, deep, calm, undisturbed. Peace is the beginning. It is the beginning of creation itself. Peace created the pieces. We seem to think it is the quiet after the storm, the peace after death, the peace after the lion's belly is full from the hunt, the calm after the trigger. I want to challenge and say this beginning place of peace is what is needed to be perfected in our reality. We were given the gift of consciousness, so we must make the choice to turn to peace, to choose peace as our homeostasis, to be stewards and act the way we want to see our reality, calming our nervous systems to start with peace in our minds, for we are the pieces to the puzzle that Reverend Sunshine talked about at Sunday's service. These pieces must align with the grand principle of the God quality of peace. So in the beginning, God created. We must do the work to create the internal peace without ceasing until we see a demonstration within ourselves. Then to share this peace with others and to show them by being peace how they too can be peace. Cascading this peace, coalescing out into the world of conscious beings, creating a one mind collective consciousness, and we will surely have heaven on earth. So that is my thought on pieces to peace. And I have some questions in the chat for us to discuss. And then, of course, sorry, I accidentally muted myself. And opening it up to discussion. But the questions I put in the chat were, how do you center yourself in peace? What are some tools you use to go to the place of peace within? And where have you experienced a time of dysregulation and were able to turn it to peace?
So I'm just going to invite everyone to put your camera, yeah, the camera's on if you like, and we can see each other. And if you want to speak, just raise your hand with the little icon if you can. If not, wave at us, and someone will try to see that you would like to go next. And we'll help Maureen figure out who wants to talk.
Alice has her hand up.
Alice. Alice K.
Hi, everybody. Maureen, thank you so much. I loved your talk.
Ooh.
And one of the things I loved a lot about your talk, so much wisdom came out. It's
Thank you.
so wonderful to hear. And what brings me peace, what really helps me is meditation. Because 5 minutes in meditation changes my consciousness. And to do that regularly, it helps. The other day, somebody really perturbed me. And I said, no matter what, I am not going to attack them. I'm not going to get aggressive. I'm not going to do that. I was really proud of myself because I did not. And it took a lot, but I just said, remember, you made that promise. You made that promise to yourself. You're going to work on that. And I was really, really glad to do that. But meditation really helps me because it just has this quality of equalizing everything out for me. So that's all I have to say for now. Thank you so much, Maureen. It meant so much. I really enjoyed your talk.
Thank you, Alice. Yes, and I think meditation, I mean, the science behind meditation too has shown, exponentially that it really does affect our mood and how we are. So thank you for the reminder that meditation is a very good grounding technique, even for 5 minutes, like you say.
Yeah. Constance, go ahead.
Hi, Maureen.
Hi,
Thanks
Constance.
for reminding me about your talk tonight, so I didn't miss it.
You're welcome.
I was trying to find something. I don't know if you know Reverend Barbara Legere.
Mm-mm.
She has an organization called the Golden Path of Peace, and what they do is that they teach kids in Ukraine to find peace in the midst of war. And I was looking for something she sent me that had what they use, but it's really wonderful because she said the kids actually do it. And the teachers they teach the teachers teach the kids. So that's someone who's doing it in a really hard situation. And I've had to use all my tools in the last a week or so, because I mean, as most of you know, I retired, and it was basically on a wing and a prayer, because because I knew my income wasn't matching my outflow. And so I've been working pretty hard, and it's just the last month or so, it's sort of like I got to the point where it was like, okay, do I really trust, or do I not trust? And there were days when I did not trust, and I just would like fall apart and think that, life was coming to an end. And so, I mean, meditation is one thing for me. Another thing is to actually pick up the phone, call my prayer partner immediately and say, help me remember. And then I take it to the canvas, because that's a way that grounds me in getting out of that fear. Or actually, I can even put the fear right on the canvas and just let the canvas take it, like God will take it. So those are some of the things that have been working for me.
Thank you for sharing that. And I think that the canvas, Reverend Allie mentioned, in the beginning, I work with trauma and trauma-informed care, and working with the creative and being able to express yourself creatively is really a way to tap into the emotional pieces that aren't necessarily in our cognitive part of our brain. And so I think that that's really a helpful way for people to connect and to find that peaceful place within us, for
Yeah,
sure.
one of the teachers that I had is married to a man who was in in one of the services, and he was in one of the many wars that we've been in the Middle East. And so he had PTSD, and between them, they've developed a process of taking that PTSD to the canvas
Mm,
and actually working on transforming it on the canvas.
wow.
Yeah.
Great. That's great. Sabrina, go ahead.
Thank you.
Hi,
Hi,
Sabrina.
Maureen. Hi, thank you so much for that wonderful, wonderful talk. And I especially enjoyed the meditation that you took us through, because when you talk about what I do for peace, first of all, for peace, I turn off the television, I turn off the news because that just gives me great angst. And I've been just removing myself from high anxiety things, if I don't need to address them. And then I love going into a meditation, a visioning, to be pretty specific, to start visioning joy and what that looks like. And so when you started doing the meditation, I was all in. I was like, I'm gonna go with Maureen into this wonderful, peaceful place. And I just started seeing Green Valley with like low clouds, just such calm and just serenity. So thank you so much for that gift and the gift of you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Sabrina.
Thank you, Sabrina. Lula, go ahead.
For me, it is like today. I have a sister. My oldest sister has cancer, and her medical treatment is working very well. She had 4th-stage breast cancer, and it had metastasized to a couple of spots on her back. But the treatment is going very well. It is the way that she has accepted it that is the problem. This is her like 6th treatment in the first round, and the doctor told her Wednesday that her numbers are getting better and better, and that it's working. But you would never know it from her behavior.
Mm,
So, and I have a younger sister that lives in Baltimore, lives in the same city, Baltimore, and so she and my sister's daughter are like the caregivers for her. And my sister gets really upset about her behavior. And so she calls me, I'm her outlet. And so my thing is not to take on any of that. Just know the truth. Just know the truth. And I love walking. So today, after our session with my younger sister, I just took me a long walk. And I said, just said a lot of affirmations about the goodness of the universe and what was mine to do in this situation. And I'm just doing that because I cannot get bogged down with all of that because it doesn't feel good. And I made a promise to myself that if my actions aren't making the situation better, why am I doing it? So it's nothing I can do but pray for her and see the truth of her. So that's what I'm holding on to. I'm complete.
Thank you, Lila.
Okay.
I'm gonna go next. I was having a similar thought. I loved it, Maureen, when you said that about, doing it. It's an inside job. We have that tendency to think, well, I could work on myself, but that's too hard. They just need to do something. It's like you just gave away all your power. It's like that's the hard thing is trying to, if you're out there trying to change somebody else. So when you ask how do you center yourself, it's sort of recognizing that. I mean, there are times when it's yours to do, like you have to have that conversation with your kids or your romantic partner or set a boundary with someone. But most of the time, like what's going on with someone else is just none of your business. And we're out there, totally giving away our power and trying to do something that's so completely impossible instead of doing the inside work. And so I just kind of remind myself that it's not something I need to change. That's just happening in my environment, and I need to look at how am I responding to it? What's going on for me? And like you said, pray. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah,
for
thank
your
you.
reaction.
Thank you for sharing that. And Lula, thank you for sharing yours. I think what is being uncovered is that regardless of who's having the dysregulation or the not peace, no peace moment, there always needs to be someone that is going to demonstrate peace in that moment. And Lula, you're acting as that peace person in your family dynamic, which I think is wonderful. You're doing what is yours to do in that moment. And we all need someone, like Constance was saying, she calls her prayer partner to remind her that she is these God qualities.
Mm.
I saw something in the chat.
Anybody else? Alice has her hand up again.
I just wanted to say one more thing, Maureen, and that was when you did that exercise where you did the meditation, and the minute you said imagine before let there be light was said, was spoken, and it's like I took a breath. And for me, that meant that's the breath of life. So in that silence, in that peaceful silence, I took this breath of awareness and it was breathing life into me. And so I wanted to share that experience with you because it felt really profound and I wanted to thank you. That was awesome.
Yeah, I had a really good time with my imagination going into that. Like what would it have been like? And yeah, so thank you for sharing that.
Mhm.
I've had a similar thought before, like if you were this omnipotent, omniscient being who could just speak things into being with no effort whatsoever, and only good would come of it, how hard would it be for your sense of peace to get wrecked? And that's the power we're drawing on.
Yes, yes, and yes.
Mm. Who else? Any other comments, questions, insights, epiphanies?
Well, Grady wrote in the chat, you mean me be the example of peace, the space, place. Thank you for your presentation, meditation, so good.
Mm.
Know the truth. And she's glad to be here today.
Yeah, I think we're all glad to be here.
Mhm.
So, anything else before we wrap up a little early? Alice?
I'm pretty chatty tonight, aren't I? I
Go
was
for it.
very curious about the 51% that Ernest Holmes said about the tipping point, or where is that in the thing called you?
I believe it's Ernest.
I want to look that
I've
up.
heard
It's
that before. It seems like
Yeah.
it is.
really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a smidge over that halfway point, right? Just
Yeah. 1%. You only need 1% to tip the scales.
Was
I
like,
heard it from Reverend Jeff.
Mm.
So I don't
Yes,
know exactly
yes.
where it's at.
Yes.
it's like the 100
This is
monkey thing.
this is Dorothy, and I want to say I'm proud of all you practitioner students that were in my class, the 3 of you, the 4 of you that are here. And Maureen, you were absolutely fabulous. Now, Reverend Allie, you are fabulous in what you're doing. And our new ministry of prayer coordinator is our beloved Alice Knudsen. Hey, God is good. And I am so thankful for all of you. And Megan is our Paula birthday person. It's awesome. And all of you who are on this call, just know that these are your new graduates, practitioners who have stepped up to the plate to serve our community in ways that we could not have possibly imagined. So I'm grateful for all of you. And I put my chest out because I was with you all through this journey. I'm complete.
Thank
all,
you, Dorothy.
all the pieces coming together.
Yes.
All righty. Last chance for any other questions, comments. I'm going to go back and do that meditation again, I think.
Well, I have a question for people. Like, what does it feel like to know that that's a responsibility for us
Hmm.
to cultivate that peace? What does it feel like? For me, that felt a little bit heavy.
I think for me, it feels the opposite. It's sort of like, again, you're not having to solve the war in Ukraine or, it's just doing that inside work and knowing that from there, if you really do contact that sense of peace, that's your essence, that it'll ripple out from there, that other people, there is one mind, other people pick it up and they pass it along and they pass it along. And Constance has her hand up.
And Deborah too, and Lula.
Oh, okay.
Well, when I was a younger practitioner, I felt like it was an uphill. I was on a learning curve, and that it was an uphill battle, and I always felt like I wasn't quite doing it well enough. But what more recently, I've been really focusing on, because I think whether you take peace or you take love or you take joy, they're all God qualities, and so I've been really focusing on joy because painting brings me joy. Well, it doesn't bring me, it's already inside me. It allows it to free up. And what I've found is that the more I experience that joy and understand it and allow it to be in my body, because there was a time when it was really scary for me to have that in my body. That that then the love comes easier, the peace comes easier, all because they're all the same thing, really.
Mhm.
And so I'm just gonna, I don't know whether you'll put the hook around my neck and drag me off or not, but I'm doing a challenge, an online challenge starting in October. That's called a 28 day, one word, vote joy art challenge. So watch for it. It's free, doesn't cost anything. But what my goal is I want to raise the vibration around the electoral process and see if we could actually start working towards putting United States, putting the United back in the United, not back, I don't think it's ever really been there, to actually activate the United in the United States. So, all
Thank
right,
you,
I'm done.
Constance.
Thank you for listening.
Deborah.
I am sorry I was not here to hear you. But one of the things I think is that as I listen to every comment, I am grateful for the operation of many of us on this call with Dr. Dan. And I think that whole presence of practicing the presence gives me a lot of peace on a daily basis. It also allows me to know who I am and whose I am. And once I got that, and this has been a long journey, but once I got that, I'm like Lula. What is mine to do is to stay in the peace, is to stay in the practice, is to recognize I have a choice. And it's an inside out job. And the more I work on me, the better and deeper I receive spirit in and stays in. And the deeper it goes, and the invitation is to welcome it more and more. With that, I'm complete. Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you, Deborah.
Yeah.
Lula.
You're muted, Lula.
Well, I think at first it was a little heavy trying to find a tool that gave me that. But after I use the tools, it's like you can't unknow what you already know. If you know it, it's sort of comforting to know that it works. It may take a little longer each time to access it, but you know it. I'm complete.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Dorothy.
I just wanted to piggyback on something Constance said. I am hoping, Alice Newson and I are hoping that we can open our community to an evening of blessings on November the 2nd. I believe that's the Friday before the election. So if we get enough practitioners to participate in this and to allowing our community, our village, to come together and express their needs, their feelings about what is taking place in this upcoming election. And I am knowing that for all of us, if we just take the time once a day to just be still and listen to that still voice within you that will truly guide you and guard you into the right and perfect action of what it is that you need to present for yourself for this day. And I'm hoping that enough practitioners will step up to the plate and serve our community in that way. And I'm complete. Thank you.
Well, be sure to send out an email to the practitioners so I can get it on my calendar.
Yeah.
I certainly will put it out there, and I certainly will be looking for responses. Alice Newson and I. Alice is your new Ministry of Prayer coordinator,
Yes.
and she will be looking forward to responses with this. But it is so important. These are trying times for all of us, and we need to have a venue that our community can go forward and knowing that they are safe expressing whatever it is they need to express. And I'm complete.
Very nice. Thank you. Good to know that's coming up. We're going to know it's coming up. Anybody else?
Thank you, Allie. Thank you. I'm hoping, I'm praying hard.
It's done.
Okay.
All right. Are we complete? It sounds like we might be. Let's give Maureen a little love for that wonderful talk with a meditation wrapped inside the talk. And thank all of you for all your comments and everything. And I think now we're going to go into our announcements, including some stuff about the upcoming election. So this Sunday, September 8th, Reverend Dr. Sunshine Michelle Coleman will be speaking on waking up to oneness. The meditation starts at 10 and the service is at 10:30 a.m. On Wednesday, September 11th, at our midweek oasis, join Reverend Deb Hammond, who is also a religious science practitioner, for a deeper conversation on the same topic, waking to oneness. The meditation's at 6:30, the service is at 7, and like tonight, they're both on Zoom. So for the Zoom link, just go to oaklandcsl.org and click services. You can also join our 2024 daily community spiritual practice using the Abundance Book, 40-Day Prosperity Plan by John Randolph Price. Today, we're on the 8th day of the program using the 8th affirmation in the book. So if you want to join us, just follow along daily in the order that the affirmations appear. You may want to join, speaking of elections, the growing movement of My Election Intention, 100 Days of Mindful Practice, July 28th to November 4th. This was created by CSL Minister Reverend Dr. David Alexander in Atlanta, I think. Tune out fear and tune in vision with 10 somatic healing principles based on the book What It Takes to Heal by Prentice Hemphill. So all you have to do is text join to the phone number that should be on the screen, 470-784-0250 to get daily inspirational and uplifting and calming phone messages concerning the election season. Or if, like me, you're not up at 7 a.m., you'll get a voicemail message. It's not too late to join. And the previous messages are available on the website myelectionintention.com. Our nonprofit partner for September is RISE, the Rural India Student Education Foundation, which provides high quality education and opportunities to children who would not otherwise have access. Today, the RISE school has over 300 children enrolled from kindergarten to 8th grade. There are 14 classrooms, a computer and science lab, a library, a large playground, transport vehicles. So go to indiarise.org for more information. And you may want to mark your calendars for the Quick Start class on Science of Mind, 2 Saturdays in September, the 21st and the 28th, just from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. So this class is a requirement for anyone who would like to become a new member, and it's a refresher for other folks. Registration will be available soon. And please consider joining our chair dedication campaign. You'll soon have the opportunity to create your own inscribed plate. They'll go in the back of a chair in the sanctuary or the social hall. There are 4 levels to choose from $50 to $500, with 2 lines of inscription to 5 lines. You can include yourself, your family, ancestors, friends, organizations, whatever you want on the dedication. And you can also share lines with someone else if you want to reduce the cost. The registration form will be coming out mid-September. And the silent auction was so successful last year, and we're doing it again. The kickoff date will be Friday, September 27th, and it'll run through October 29th. We welcome your donations of products, services. We hope you'll get creative. We know there are some very talented, creative folks out there. And we welcome your bids for all the good stuff that's going to be on the website. So we hope there'll be lots of fun for our community. The Spirit Treasure Bookstore is having a store-wide sale, 40% off all books, 30% off all merchandise. So be sure to visit the bookstore this month. And since we can only cover so much in these announcements, you can also visit csl.org to see what's happening within our Centers for Spiritual Living global organization. Finally, please visit our website at oaklandcsl.org and sign up for our weekly newsletter, The Village News. Remember to follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook for special updates. And while you're there, please like and subscribe to Oakland Center for content you can only find by liking and subscribing, and so that others who might be interested in our center can find us more easily. So the slide you're looking at now has information about our contact team, the folks you can contact for various needs, our senior minister, our board of trustee president, facilities, our administrative person, our director of the ministry of prayer, bookkeeping. Those are the folks that, among others, that keep us up and running. So I want to give a little gratitude to them. And in this space of gratitude, let's also prepare to do our conscious giving time. Charles Fillmore called giving the way to prepare our consciousness for the inflow of universal substance. So we give consciously and aware of our intention to participate more fully in that unending flow of abundance that is spirit. And in the awareness of this truth, please follow along as I read the giving information or read aloud if you're muted. And our affirmation tonight is, joyously I give with an attitude of abundance, knowing that as I give, I do receive. And so it is. I love that one because it reminds us that in the giving is the receiving and vice versa. If you'd like to submit an offering tonight, please find the donate button on our website's homepage. And once there, you'll see all the various ways to give: credit card, a check by mail, Zelle, text. There's a QR code. And again, continuing that spirit of gratitude, we'd like to thank all the folks that made tonight possible. First of all, our speaker, Maureen French, did a fabulous job engaging us and making us think and making us feel and generally inspiring us. I'd like to thank our meditator, Alice Knudsen. Yay. Tonight's tech team is Peter Gum, Alice Herndon, and Alice Knudsen. Our tech team lead, who you did not see tonight, but is always there in the background, is Peggy Cotton. Contributing to all the slides and the organization is our administrative coordinator, Steve Carter. We'd like to remember Paul Prosciutti, who has kept these Wednesday nights going for so long and is taking a well-deserved leave of absence. And now I think it's time to translate to Maureen, who's I surprised Maureen.
It's okay. All right. So let us go ahead and take a collective breath. Breathing in that breath of life, that beginning breath that breathes each and every one of us, that provides us with the consciousness to be able to know that we are breathing and that our heart automatically beats. In this moment, each one of us coming together and recognizing and revealing the truth that we are one mind, we are one power, and that this power is here for us to use it and to bring it forth into our creative way in the world. I bless our time together. I bless the words that were spoken, the different ways to bring peace into the world, the tools, the visioning, the prayer partners, the meditation, the being, the presence of God. All of those things are ways that we bring peace to each one of us and into the world, into the collective consciousness. I bless each of us as we go on our way in integrating this information into our mind's eye. And I give thanks for each person who made this today possible. I let it be, and so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you.
Maureen, how's that knee?